Bro, have you ever been gutted by someone you thought would never hurt you? Someone who said all the right things, made you believe in forever, and then, out of nowhere, ripped the ground from under your feet? It's the kind of pain that doesn't just sting. It breaks something inside of you. You can't eat, can't sleep. You replay everything in your head like a movie with no ending, wondering what you missed, what you did wrong, how someone could say, "I love you," and still betray you behind your back. I know this story because I lived it, and so did someone close to me. His name was Daniel. Daniel loved this woman like she was air in his lungs. They shared dreams, talked about kids, planned holidays that never happened. They even picked out names for future dogs. It was that kind of closeness. Then one evening, with no warning, everything shattered. Her phone lit up, and what he saw changed everything. Months of secrets. Another man. Smiles and words that were once his, now given to someone else. His first instinct was what any man feels in that moment: rage. He wanted to scream, to demand answers, to hear her admit it. But something in him said, "Don't." And in that silence, something shifted. That's what this video is about. Not revenge, not getting her back, not becoming bitter. This is about choosing the kind of silence that doesn't just protect your dignity, it rebuilds it. Because silence, real silence, not the kind laced with pride or ego, but the kind that comes from knowing your worth, is powerful. When someone betrays you, your gut wants you to respond, to confront, to blow up their world the way they just wrecked yours. But the strongest move, the most masculine move, is often no move at all. Daniel didn't yell, didn't text her paragraphs, didn't show up asking for closure. He walked away, quietly, cleanly, and for days, she bombarded his phone. "Why won't you talk to me? Can we just meet and talk? Don't do this." But silence, in those moments, says something louder than any words ever could. It says, "You don't have access to me anymore." You see, when someone cheats, they expect chaos. They expect tears, shouting, drama, because that drama gives them something. A way to justify what they did, a distraction from their guilt. If you scream, they can say, "Look how crazy you are." If you cry, they can feel powerful. If you beg, they can feel needed. But if you do none of those things, they're left with only themselves. And that is what they fear most. Not your anger, but your absence. It's human nature to seek closure, to want an explanation. But what if I told you that closure is a luxury you don't owe anyone who broke your trust? And sometimes, the only closure you need is walking away and watching your peace return. When Daniel stayed silent, she had no story to run with, no narrative to twist, no apology to weaponize. She had only her own guilt, echoing in her own head. That silence forced her to sit in what she'd done. Not with his pain, but with her own reflection. Weeks passed. Daniel hit the gym. Started reading again. Went back to things he loved. At first, it was just survival, but slowly, it became strength. She watched from afar, liking his photos, leaving comments, sending check-ins masked as "just wanted to see how you're doing." But he didn't respond. And that silence became a mirror she couldn't look away from, because it reflected everything she lost. Let's talk about why people who betray you push for a reaction. It's not because they care. It's because they're trying to shift the blame. Guilt is heavy. They don't want to carry it. So if they can make you angry, if they can make you blow up, they feel less bad. They think, "See? He's overreacting. He's just bitter." But when you don't give them that, when you give them silence instead, they can't dodge it anymore. They sit in it. And that, more than any insult or shouting match, gets under their skin. I asked Daniel, months later, if he ever regretted not telling her off. He smiled. "Not once," he said. "Because in her silence, she gave me everything I needed to know." And let me be clear. This kind of silence isn't easy. It's not passive. It's not cowardice. It's control. It's restraint. It's deciding that your energy is too valuable to waste on someone who doesn't know how to treat you. There's this idea that real strength is loud, but sometimes the strongest man in the room is the one who says nothing, who keeps his dignity when it's easier to destroy hers. Revenge? That's cheap. Real revenge is healing. Real revenge is thriving. Real revenge is showing the world that what broke you didn't get to keep you. Daniel didn't heal overnight. He had nights where he broke down, days where he felt empty. But he didn't go crawling back. He didn't trade his pain for temporary comfort. He let the silence do its work. And eventually, the silence stopped being about her. It became about him. That's when it shifted. It wasn't about getting her back or making her regret it. It was about remembering who he was before he gave so much of himself away. About becoming a man again, not the version who bent, folded, twisted himself to keep her happy, but the one who walked into rooms with quiet power. The one who didn't need attention to feel whole. Listen, betrayal cuts deep, but it only defines you if you let it. You don't need to explode to prove you were hurt. You don't need to explain your silence. You just need to own it. Because every time you don't respond, every time you don't pick up that call, every time you resist the urge to fire off a bitter message, you're reminding yourself, I'm not desperate. I'm not broken. I'm not defined by this. And if they move on quickly, let them. Let them post pictures with someone new. Let them pretend they're fine. Because the truth is, what haunts people the most isn't losing you. It's realizing they never really knew your worth until you stopped explaining it. So don't argue. Don't beg. Don't try to prove your value to someone who already chose to forget it. Go quiet. Let your absence be your boundary. Let your silence be your closure. Let your growth be your response. And one day, maybe they'll look back and realize they didn't just lose a person. They lost peace, stability, strength, and a kind of love they'll search for again, but won't find in someone else. This world teaches us to chase. But what if we learn to pause instead? What if we let the chaos pass and chose, instead, to rebuild in stillness? You don't need to explode to heal. You need to return to yourself. And sometimes, the only way back is through silence. So if you've been betrayed, if your heart feels ripped open and your mind won't shut up, I want you to try something radical. Say nothing. Not to them. To yourself, speak all day. Feel it, write it, scream into pillows if you have to. But to them, nothing. Because in that silence, something beautiful happens. You start to hear your own voice again. And that voice, my brother, is the only one that matters. So here's your challenge. Don't chase, don't explode, don't give them the satisfaction of knowing they still hold space in your life. Get quiet, get still, and get back to being the man who doesn't beg to be loved. The man who knows his love was never the problem. It was just given to the wrong person. And one day, when you're further along, when you're thriving in a life they'll never be part of again, you'll be grateful you didn't waste another word on someone who didn't deserve your silence, let alone your voice. Let that be your legacy. Not bitterness, not revenge, but quiet, grounded strength. Because in the end, real power doesn't make noise. It just moves differently. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.